Hello everyone and welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph and today it is an absolute scorcher. It's 26 degrees, the sun is blistering hot, hardly any clouds up there, well the odd one or two, but other than that, blue skies, scorching heat. I am sweltering. I've had to put a hat on today just so I can see guys and keep the sun off my head, otherwise I'm likely to get heat stroke today. It is that hot. Anyway, good news for everyone. On Monday, which is tomorrow, in today's video, speaking to you, it'll be the past. I'm getting the keys for the house. So, we will be on the move very, very shortly. So I'll be able to give you a sneak peek very soon of where we will be moving to. So Bonsai Expression is going to be on the move to the new location. So keep an eye out for some videos of where we're going to, and we'll be doing some videos on the transformation of the location as well, on the new garden. So exciting times. Can't wait. Anyway, in preparation for that, I did say in the last video that how overgrown all my trees are, and explaining that keeping them healthy, ready for the move and transition into the location. So with the move incoming, it's time to get some of those trees trimmed up. And first one we're going to be doing is actually one of my Chinese privets that was purchased by my boss. Actually, it was a Christmas present from my boss at work. So thank you, Jason. Lovely gift. And I'll show you. I've had it. I've not really done anything to it. I give it a slight prune on top just to make sure everything was all right in the top. Basically, I just give it a little prune on the top just to clear some of it out on one side, and then I just left it, make sure the tree was all right, and I just let it grow wild. I showed you on the video last time with the big long leader, give you a demonstration on it. I'll grab it now. So it's this one here. So we're going to be getting it in some sort of shape. I'm working on it today, bringing it all back in. Probably going to be cutting, wow, I'd say like 90% of it off and seeing what we're working with, and actually beginning its journey as a proper bonsai. And if you're wondering where Jason got it, I've actually still got the tag on it. It was purchased from Greenwood Studios. Yes, it's one of Corin's trees. So really nice purchase, and they're very grateful that Jason got me this. Very kind of him. So let's get this on the bench and let's start working on it. And this is going to go from one big bush, as you can see it is massive, and it's going to go to pretty much a trunk. So Jason, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, it's going to look very, very drastic. It's going to look awful probably by the end of the video, but it is for future development. All my subscribers are going to know how this goes. We're going to go from big shrub to a little trunk, and then in another few months it'll start going out and looking like a bonsai again. So stick around, see how we go with this one. First thing I'll start with is I've got this long sacrificial branch. So I'm just going to come in. I think I've done with it. I'm just going to take it off here just so it's out of my way, so you can see the length of that one. So just clears up a little bit. I'm going to come down here. I've got this section here. Now if I open it up a little bit, you can see just at the bottom I've got this sacrificial branch section here. I'm just going to come in, take it off completely. Now the idea of the sacrificial branch was to help. Well, it had a big scarring section just here, and it was also helped close this, but mainly just to help thicken the base and predominantly help grow all these roots at the bottom. As you can see, I've got a nice section of base coming from the bottom there, so that's done the job. Nice swelling all around here. So what I'm going to do is just come in, just try and clear this section up as well. I've got another sacrificial branch here. Let's clear this out. So as you can see, this is all swollen. Let's try and clear it up as best we can. Right, so got a first branch here. I do like this one, so I'm going to try and keep it. Got my snips there. So I would like to keep this. I've got branch at the top, two of these. Snip them out. And this one, I'm just going to come back bring it to 2 pairs of leaves, bring it in there. This one that grows all the way up, I'm going to take it out and I'll just bring it in. The branch here goes off to the side at the top, but I'm just going to again just bring it in, and we've got this one here as well. We could just wire it so it's in position. So just nip it back. Just here now you can see where we had them sacrificial branches. Just going to go in, try and neaten them off a little bit with a concave cutter. Nip into it. That way it can grow over and it'll help. There we go. So if I can get in. Now this is probably going to look drastic as a wound, but because it's gone in, it'll help now roll over properly. And then just to help do that, we'll go in, get some cut paste. Now this stuff is proper hard, so the best way to do it is if I wet my fingertips, and then yes, I know I've got gloves on, and then go in there, wet all this as well, and I get in, and it helps mold this out. So there we go. Now I can actually make this more malleable and pliable. I can just mold that into shape, put that over the wound, and then that will help the healing recovery process a lot quicker than if it was just open. So that's the base of it done, and it's all started. So that's our first branch. It's nice and low. You could potentially say it's a little bit too low, but again, I don't know where we're going to go with this tree at the moment. So for now, that's our first branch all done. We're going to move up. We've got potentially a second branch here, but if I spin you around, I've also got this one here as well as potentially a back branch. So we don't know what we're going to do as of yet. So just going to go in, cut it back just so we can see into it. Just helps a little bit more. Now I am coming in from a lower angle. This comes all the way from the back. So if we're using this branch here, I've got this section that grows all the way up and through it. So I want to come down and take that off because it comes from the bottom. Snip that out. This part comes all the way through from the back as well. So if I'm going to be using this one, I'm not going to want to be using this one because it comes right across into it. So I'm going to take that one out completely. Come in, snip it off. Go right over. Clean it all out for the time being. Top section's all died off. Alright, let's go back into this one. Comes out right across, goes up, top section's died off, so let's clean that up. So is this part, let's clean that. And we'll just leave that for now. So that gives us that branch, comes across and goes out. Spin it round. Now on this angle you can see this section better, so just at the back you can see where I've took this one out. But this one also grows at the back, comes across, so I'm just going to remove that one as well. It's not doing anything other than interfering with the lower one. So let's take that one off, and then you can see I've got plenty of other stuff coming from all different angles, which means I'm going to have to go deeper in, take that off completely. And then if I spin this around a little bit, you can see this section at the end, it has died off. So let's clear it. And then the tree itself curls and then just grows out here. So probably the best thing to do is if I spin it round. So if I say that was the front or somewhere here, and that was your first branch, this would be your second branch. This whole section would have to come off just at the bottom. That's malleable enough to grow it out there like that. And then I just cut back here. I mean, we could put some wire on it just to hold it in place, but it seems to be okay. Actually, no, we want to take it out completely, I think. It needs neatening up at the back because it's just a block from the angle. This angle you can't really tell, but the way I've cut it, I need to neaten it into a branch. I mean, I could remove it completely and hope something grows better. I'll tell you what, let's just go in. Let's just take the whole thing off. And grow that. There we go. That's probably our best bet. We'll grow it again from here, if that's leader. Greenwood Bonsai Studio tag. Oh, is it going to focus? There we go. So I'll get rid of that. And then, looking at this whole jungle of mess, I've got so much at the top, that's all. It's just been growing everywhere, nothing's where it should be. I think the best bet to do is if I zoom you in, they're in the wrong place. I'm gonna take them out. Some dead bits. And I think, looking at it, if I get you in, I'll do you a flyover. The best bet to do. Okay, so we've done the bottom section here. We've worked on this a little bit. Cut paste on. Branch here, we've took off all this section, and then we've left this little sprout. So we'll work from this one to add to it. And then just at the back here, we've trimmed everything back. So working back, you can see we don't really have any branches up until this point here. So this could potentially be the next one, but it is, if I just zoom out, it is long and leggy. And then we've got the main section here. As we get into the main canopy, everything then starts to grow. If I get in all in one section, spirals up. But then if I get you up into here, if I just move everything out, everything is clustered together. So rather than going in and trying to hack my way in and then spruce everything up, and the same on this side, I think what I would like to do, as you can see everything's just spread out there, is, because this side you can see it better, everything is just long and leggy. I think my options is nice and easy. If it's focused, so twists and makes it long and leggy here. So I think my idea is going to be use this section here. So this side's better to show you. If I just move my tools out the way so I'm not lent on them. So I'll keep this one because we could potentially use it. Maybe as a leader later on, we'll do a cut. But if I take you in here, and I'm going to remove this whole section here, which leads me to having a branch here. So I'll keep this section and I'll cut this big thick one off. And then on this side over here on the right, I'm going to lose this as well. I'm going to lose all of this. And then just grow out onto the right. I think it's probably the best option. So I'll grow it that way. I'm going to potentially use this as a leader. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Lose all that. So we lose all this top section by getting rid of that. This could be a potential branch at the back, at the side we'll use from. And then have this section here onto the right. We could either grow here, start from this one, or grow from this section here. And then lose all this on the right as well. Yeah. So that's what we're thinking. So, no time like the present. While we're here, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to come in and take a big cut. There we go. So that is a big... So we've just lost all of that section there. Look at the size of it. Right, so that's going in the bin. So that opens up that section as well. Now, if I put you back on the tripod, we can see better where we're going from this. So we took the chunk out of here, and we've opened this whole area out. Now, the idea was, I was going to take this out, but if I turn it around, now I hope you can see on the camera, let me just double check on the camera, you can see where I'm going with this. If I remove, I just take this out of here. If I take all this section out here, I'm going to use this section here as my new leader. So, can you see that on the camera? You can't proper, so here we go. If I open that up, I'm going to bring that over, and level this off, take this over, come here, cut that off. So that will bring this over, up, and then over, bringing it over to this side. So the whole tray then has got the right movement coming over, back over onto this side, removing all this section out. I'm just going to change the camera angle so you can see better what I'm going for. If I change the camera angle to down here, looking upwards, you'll see better. So let's change the camera angle. Moving up into the canopy here. There you go. Right. So if I remove all this section here, you can see that the tree then moves over to the right. And if I cut this section off here, this little blob that we just removed, there you go, that becomes the new leader. It moves it all over to the right, and you can see, I just take that over as well, it moves it to the right, and you've got this section over. So it leans over to this section, back over to the right where we want it, just there. So everything goes up over this section and then back onto the right. So I'm going to come over, I'm going to neaten that section off there, I'm going to come over and cut it off just here where my thumb is, and again that's where we're going to go from. So we'll go back to the original camera angle we just had, we'll do them cuts, and then I'll show you how it looks. So if I just get you in on a different angle again, we're going to go fly over, we're going to remove this section, and we're going to come over, cut all this off just in there. That's where we're going to go. So to make it easier, I'll just get a pair of snips. I'll show you. Get rid of that, get rid of that, and that. Right, so this is all coming off. Just here. And then this section is going to be made neater. I'm going to snip it back. Right, I'll just nibble that away and we'll come back in. So I threw a bit of wire on this section and I'll just give it a twist. Now, I've got a part here, just at the back. Now this is actually the section I want, not all this bit here. So I'm going to come back, cut, just here, So that's the one I want, and I'm going to throw a bit more wire on because I want to wire that into this position. So I need to go ahead, put the wire just around. So there we go. First branch. Another branch here. Back branch. Come up. Got one just at the top here. One growing out the side here. And then I've got my new leader. Which, if this is the front, I'll just position this up. Maybe just tweak it up here a little bit more. Well, there we go. Just there we go, like that. And that's it all done. What a hell of a difference. Now if you want to see how much I've actually taken off, I'll show you. That's what we're taking off. You can see absolute loads, and we're left with an amazing trunk line with some great roots. Look at those roots. Once it's pushed a bit more growth, it's going to be a cool tree, especially with those roots. Can't wait to get digging into this. Well, I said I was going to give it a bit of a trim, but that was a bit of a lie, wasn't it? There's not really much left of the tree. But anyway, I've done what's best for the tree, and that was completely remove all of the wrong parts of the tree that were growing, and that was pretty much everything. It was all growing in the wrong place, and it was just best to start all over again. If everything's like that on your tree, get rid of it all. Start with the basics, and the basics is the basic shape, which is the trunk. Luckily enough, I had a couple of branches that were in the right places, so I cut to what was necessary, which was already there, and then we can start building from that shape, and they're the primary branches. Up top, we've got a branch here and a branch just starting to develop here as well, and then we've cut all this on the top section here that was just a complete and utter mess. Luckily enough, I've got this little sprout here that we can start developing as the new leader. So growing from there, I'll move back a little bit, put you in line with my face so you can see everything properly. That is the basic shape of a bonsai tree, and we can start developing everything from this section onwards. And now from here on out, this will be our basis from the tree. So we can start growing everything from here. Hopefully this will survive. I mean, just on this bottom section here, we have took back a bit of the cambium layer, so if that dies off, it should sprout anyway from more stuff here. So I'm not too concerned if this part does die off. With the amount of cutting back we've done, it should sprout from here, there and everywhere anyway. We'll get plenty of shoots all over the trunk, so we've got plenty of options because the tree is so healthy. It's going to burst with loads of growth, so no issues. And we've got that lovely root structure at the bottom anyway to start to continue to develop. So the tree is going to be absolutely perfect. It's healthy enough to do this sort of work. That's why I've done nothing at all since having the tree. I've just let it grow with burst of growth, making sure the tree's healthy before we do this work. So there we have it. The tree has been utterly shaved back, and we're starting again, back to basics, keeping it simple. If you like this one, please do follow the channel by giving me a subscribe, like if you like, and do drop a comment. I'm always loving reading them comments. I like reading them, and I like interacting with you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Oh yeah, the next video, hopefully I'll be able to give you a sneak peek, or at least in the next 2 videos, sneak peek of the new location that we'll be moving into. So yeah, fun times. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.